Hey Men's Room, back with the topic hate crimes and transphobic hate crimes as like a special view on the topic. I don't know so much about this topic, I guess mainly because trans people in Denmark are very invisible. Transphobic hate crimes rarely are reported. Not many people here knows what transgender, transsexual people are, like what it is to be a transgender, transsexual person. And I doubt that the police are any different. So I guess that if you will report an assault as being a transphobic hate crime, that the police won't take it in as a hate crime, just a regular assault. Also, there's a big thing about the police not taking you seriously if and that I guess that goes for all countries around the world. If you are in a marginalized group, okay, so if you're for an example from other ethnic minority than white, the police don't take you seriously. And if you are gay, or there are many things that the police don't take seriously. And my thought is obviously that this won't be any different. I've never been assaulted for being transgendered, so don't have any personal experiences with it. The only times I've been assaulted on the streets or at parties and such has blatantly been because of their presumed idea of my sexuality. Has that been lesbian or gay? Is very different, actually. I personally don't think I would report a hate crime in general. Would that be around an assault for being gay or for being trans? That's simply because I don't believe in the system. I've never seen it work. Only against me, never to help me. One of the questions in the topic is also what we think about including gender identity in hate crime legislation. I feel that, of course, like all being equal, talking if there should be legislation about these things, should be equal for all marginalized minority groups that get assaulted because of their marginalized minority. But I have some issues about talking once again about legislations as also in one of our earlier topics about just transgender legislations and all, because as I said before, and I'll say it again, I don't believe in the state and upholding that as an institution, and legislations do that. I would like to refer quite a lot to a video Freshly Charles made here on YouTube about hate crime legislation. Obviously it's not the same in the States where he lives than it is here in Denmark where I live, and blatantly that therefore won't be quite the same situation that Freshly Charles and myself are talking about, but still I share quite a lot of his opinions, and I'll put a link to it in the link box if it's down there, here or there, I don't know. What I see as a big problem here in Denmark is that the hate crime legislation is actually enforcing quite a lot of racism. It has already become quite a racist law in many ways, and it's become one more law to imprison people of some kind of Muslim haircut. In Denmark there are this general idea that if you're a Muslim you're a homophobe. Obviously not at all only Muslim people who are assaulting people because of their sexuality, or if so, gender. There are so many Christian people or ethnic Danish people that do the same thing, if not more people, I'm sure, actually. But as many other things in this country, that's not as important. Making a hate crime legislation is putting faith into this system, and this system, I believe, is very full of flaws. It's the same system as we see who, if talking out from a trans person's view, imprison trans people within their birth assigned gender. So M2Fs are put in prison with men, and F2Ms in prison with women. The police and the court are getting more power by the more laws there are made. I don't see hate crime legislation as a thing that will solve the problem about violence against people in marginalized and minority groups. The problem is the system we're living in, and that system is not taking care at all of these marginalized minority groups. Actually just producing more alienation and more hatred about concerning marginalized and minority groups, and the legislation would actually are actually doing that. It is taking the blame for homophobic or transphobic things in general, instead of actually talking about what is behind all this, and instead of actually changing what is behind these crimes. The system is actually not put to guilt, because you can just put the guilt on these single incidents, and I think that's quite scary. I don't think that hate crime legislation is stopping the violence. I don't see that as happening after we got hate crime legislation in Denmark. It has actually increased quite a lot when you talk about hate crimes against gay people, and also against people from other ethnic backgrounds than white. So I don't think that hate crime legislation is the way to go. It is so much more important to actually address the entire heterosexism that are going on just in our system, and also the transphobia that are going on in our system, which is a very big issue here in Denmark. You understand what I mean, and yes, I will leave this for now, and have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.